Alright folks, we got it apart and it's a mess, of course. Had to do it on the floor, but it made a mess. It looks like somebody honed this thing severely. Flashlight. I don't know why this thing just keeps flicking from good to flashing. Can't seem to get my light to work right here. There we go, just drop it one time, that makes it work. Alright, well, somebody honed this thing about, let me see, it's supposed to be 4 inches, 93 thousandths is what a standard bore 396 is. I'm coming up with my little dial gauge, or my little bore gauge I'm using, I'm coming up with 4 inches of 100 thousandths. And in some spots, you know, it's cylinder's egg-shaped. So, but you can really see they somebody honed it real. And they didn't get a lot of the scratches out neither. But that's what it was. It was a loose piston problem, piston knot. Basically, they bored it 7 thousandths. I mean, bored it. I'm sorry. They honed it with their hone about 7 thousandths. Standard bore is supposed to be 4 inches, 93 thousandths. I come up with 4 inches, 100 thousandths, plus a hair more. My gauge isn't quite. I'm not using a. I'm using just a large measuring tool and a little bore gauge here. So I'm, you know, thousandth here or a thousandth there off, I'm sure. And actually, my gauge has been mic'd at or tested at 3 thousandths off, so, but I'm sure that's why they put some new pistons in it. It had new pistons, and it actually had 2 different kind of pistons. Let me see if I can grab the right one here. Here's one of them. And here is the other one. See the difference? That one says it's got 2 cutouts. Cutout for the intake and exhaust, or I don't know if it's cutout for the intake valve and the exhaust valve relief in the top of the piston. And this one only has it for the intake valve. So this is a higher compression piston. This is a lower compression piston. That's kind of probably why this thing loped so bad like it did. It had a little bit of running issue problems, but the main thing was the knocking and the rattling. As you can see, well, probably can't see, these pistons were new and they don't have a lot of wear. They have a lot of scratches just like everything else did in the engine. The bearings had a whole bunch of FM in it. I don't know what FM is, right? Foreign matter. But we found another problem. Right where they have the relief cut out on the cylinder, we have a crack. Don't know if it can be seen with this camera, but that is a nasty crack in the top of the cylinder right there. See if I can hold that with my knees. Right there. I think I can get it, see that a little bit in the camera. Actually, it was the wife who happened to notice a little bit of white stuff in the bottom of the oil pan. We know what all that white stuff is. It's starting to make peanut butter. So I thought maybe, well, probably had a blown head gasket, but there were new head gaskets, couldn't find no blow in it. And I was just flipping it over and wiping it out and running my little bore gauge in there, and just happened to see that big crack in the top where that relief is. So I'm not sure if they can fix that or not. I'm going to have to check with the machine shop. But that was our knocking noise, folks. Loose pistons. I'm not sure what the specs are or the max tolerance is, but you know, 7 thousandths more than what it's supposed to be is probably going to make a little bit of a knocking noise in there. You know, with new pistons and honing it as hard as they did. We didn't have no broken skirts, didn't have no brass showing on the bearings. It wasn't a bearing knocking noise. The mains, you know, everything had FM in it. I mean, it was foreign matter all over everything. Somebody put it together in a sandy yard, and they honed the cylinders with a drill and a honer, and they still didn't get all the scratches out unless, well, they probably did. They didn't get all the scratches out because a lot of the pistons didn't have scratches where the scratches are in the cylinders. So that's where we're at with this one. We're going to see what the machine shop says, see if they can either sleeve that block in that one spot, or they can weld that, or I don't know. We'll find out. We'll let TJ decide. But there she sits up on the lift. I'll let you know what we end up figuring out on it. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching.